Hey guys, what's up? Darlene here again. You already know. So if you're new to this channel, welcome to this channel. And yeah, I do sit down story times and I do fashion vlogs as well. So welcome to the channel. Appreciate you guys clicking in the video and I really hope you enjoy this video. So today, let's get straight to it. I'm going to be talking about basically the worst job I ever had and the most toxic place I've ever worked in. Alright, so basically about this place is that this was a place that when you would walk into it, you would always feel like, you know, drained or tired, or you'd feel miserable because walking into that place, you just felt like it wasn't for you, and you always like, you know, you would feel down. Like that's the type of place that I was in. Like I was just miserable. I was not happy with my life. And I was basically pretty much thinking about the worst about my life and about myself, and I just wasn't loving myself enough. And you know, I was feeling so like lonely, and I just kept putting myself down, like saying, you can't do this, you can't get out of this job, you suck, like you're gonna stay here forever and this is all that you have left for yourself. And that's what I kept thinking working in this place. And you shouldn't be, you know, having that mindset, especially like if you're in a place like that and you want to go places and you want to, like, you know, grow in a career and you want to do something. Like I would suggest leaving that toxic job. But pretty much that was all the things that I was feeling, and I shouldn't have been feeling them. I really shouldn't have. You know, working in a place, you shouldn't be feeling that way. And that's how you know this is a toxic place, if you're feeling all those things, and even worse. So, you know, coming up to the days that I was getting fired, people were being promoted, people that, like, you know, that just started there, like not even like 2 months they haven't been there, and they were new and they were already being promoted. And the only reason they were being promoted was because they supposedly had like a bachelor's degree that pretty much helped within the company, like, so to speak, is what they were saying. And they hired like one of the sales associates there that hasn't been there for not even like 2 months, and she, like, I don't know, she was just like new. On top of that, people I worked with for a while, like from the mall, because we got transferred from the mall to this other place, and the people that I worked, you know, the OGs, the originals that I worked with, were working there for a bit, but they were all screwing them over, and most of them just quit or they left, you know, like they got fired, and it wasn't even their fault if they got fired, you know, it was just a whole mess. And like I started seeing all the people that I liked that worked very well, like they were losing all their good employees, and all those good employees I worked well with, and they basically like made work fun. Like even if I was down and stuff, like I would, you know, not show it, because being around those coworkers that you like they're the reason why you're there. They're the reason why, you know, basically they make work fun. And that's the only reason why I stayed too. And because I couldn't find another job yet, I was still applying. But yeah, that's another negative sign. If you see people that are constantly quitting or getting hired and stuff like that, then I would say that's not a great place to work. And the funny thing was, like, they were getting interviews left and right. They were trying to hire people, and some people either wouldn't show up to, after they would get hired, they wouldn't show up to their orientation day. Or people would show up their first day, and then the next day you would not hear from them. They would not even call the store. They would quit. We had this one girl that worked there for like at least probably a month, and she was starting to see all the drama that was happening in the store, and she basically quit. Like during lunch, we went to lunch, like we got all morning crew, she was put in morning crew, and her name, let's say her name was like Trixie, whatever. So Trixie and the rest of the morning crew, we all went to lunch, and basically she never came back from lunch, and nobody noticed. Like she never came back from lunch, and nobody, like I swear, like nobody noticed after like an hour. This other guy at the fitting room that was covering for her, he was like, hey, you know, where's Trixie at? Like, she's not back. Is she not back from lunch? And then he was telling the managers, they're like, oh, she might not be back from lunch. And I'm like, how is that possible if like we went on lunch like 2 hours ago? That doesn't make any sense. So then they were like, oh yeah. I'm like, how do managers like not know that someone didn't come back from lunch? It made no sense. Like they were all confused, and they called her, and you want to know what they said? You want to know what she said? Trixie said, like, when she called the managers or whatever, when they called her and she picked up, she was like, I'm sorry, but like this place is too, you know, toxic to work in, and I just can't do it. So that's the only reason why she never came back, because she noticed all the drama and stuff like that, and she didn't like let anybody know. She just left. She walked out. Like, good for her, you know. She doesn't owe them anything because they kept treating everybody like crap. And then like a couple days before, people were like quitting, and then the day that I came back, like my weekend, so this is the weekend after I came back, so Thursday when I came back from my weekend, that was the day I was gonna get fired, and that was the day one of my favorite coworkers was also leaving because she put in her 2 weeks to go somewhere else. And I was walking, you know, backstage. She'd go to the store, and my coworker, you know, she catches up with me. She's like, "Hey, Darlene." I was like, "Hey, you know, it's your last day or whatever." And she's like, "Oh, yeah, I don't want to be here," and blah, 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 or whatever. So we ring the doorbell, waiting. Like, let me tell you, like, you know, walking backstage and then, you know, ringing that doorbell, the managers take forever to answer that door, and I don't understand why. Like, they know people in the morning are coming in for work, and they're doing God knows what. Like, you know, there's people coming in. Sometimes I've been late because of them, because they don't open the back door. And they'll usually take the elevator. They'll take their sweet time going to open the door when we have to clock in. Like, they don't care. So even if you're there early, they'll take like 5-10 minutes to open that door. And then sometimes they'll have an excuse like, "Oh, we were in the bathroom." "Oh, we didn't hear the doorbell." I'm like, well, it doesn't matter if you didn't hear the doorbell. You know, people are clocking in by 9 o'clock or coming in earlier. Like, you should know to, you know, be around that area when people are, you know, coming in for work. Anyways, so as soon as like we ring the doorbell, the GM that I do not like I just did not like opening up with her, like opening the store with her. She, you know, opens the door. You can hear the keys jingling or whatever, and she goes, "Good morning," and I'm like, oh my God, not this again. Like, she was always so extra about everything in the morning. And after she was like, "Good morning," and I'm just like, oh. My coworker, who's very nice, she's like, "Oh, morning," and I'm like walking by her, past the gym, and I'm like, "Morning." So then I go upstairs or whatever, and then my other coworker takes the elevator, and then I pretty much clock in, put my stuff away, and then as soon as I'm like, also I didn't mention this, like before I clocked in, like I went to where the morning meetings we have, like I came back from the weekend to like a whole new like morning crew. Like, it was crazy. Like, there was a whole new morning crew. I heard that we were getting new people, but I thought it was for night shift, but apparently not. It was, I guess, for morning, because all the people that were there were like mostly new, and the only person I know is with the coworker, you know, I clocked in with, like came in through the doors with. And we did our morning meeting. They gave me my main register, and they told me my cleaning task, which was vacuuming. And I thought it was kind of weird maybe being on main register on a Thursday, because usually I'm pro shop where the skateboards are and stuff on Thursday. So I was like, oh, I didn't think anything of it. So I was like, all right. And then, you know, after, you know, we do our cleaning task, the day starts, and it starts like picking up a little bit. It starts getting even like, you know, busier and busier. And this new guy that I got put with, he doesn't know anything. He didn't know how to like, he knew how to like, you know, the register worked, but there were some things he didn't know about the register. So pretty much like, I don't even know what was going on, but he knew how to like make transactions and stuff, but he didn't know a lot of stuff, so it was slowing the line down. And those are fireworks, if you heard that. It's 4th of July, you know? But yeah, so he didn't really know much about the register, and the line was like slowing down. And then the managers, you know, for them to help us, they start bagging, and that slows me down because I'm a really fast bagger. The other guy is really slow, and like the manager, the GM from the morning, whatever, that was like, "Good morning." She like pretty much was like helping me bag, and I really didn't need her help. The new guy is who needed help. So I don't know why she was like next to me at my register. It was super annoying. I guess she wanted to like micromanage me or didn't like me. I don't know what it was. It was annoying. But then yeah, I really didn't need her, because I was like, I would pretty much bag everything by the time the transaction was over, after they slide their card, gave me their money and stuff like that. So yeah, and then the line just kept getting busier. Night crew comes in, we go to lunch late. Morning crew goes to lunch late because night crew came in late, and their meetings take forever. I don't know why. And then like also during the morning meetings too, they would be like ask you stupid question. It was something new. They're like, "Oh, what's your favorite ice cream?" Like they started doing that a week before I got fired. But anyways, yeah, morning crew got there late. Anyways, after lunch, I came back. It was busy, and I was like flying by the line like super fast, greeting everybody, being like super friendly like I'm supposed to, you know. And then the time comes where it's 6 o'clock and everybody else got pulled and I'm still waiting. I'm like, man, like, you know, I gotta get pulled. And usually they take forever to pull people that are downstairs in main register. Because the store is 2 floors. And there's a register upstairs and a backup register that get pulled before me. And then it was like 6:05 or whatever. And finally, like, the manager that I actually like came down. She pulled me. We took the elevator. I went upstairs to the office where we usually go after, you know, our shift is over from having a register. They count it, make sure everything is good. So they did that. Everything was good. There was 2 managers in there. The GM was there. And then this other manager that was there, I never got along with. Like, she's always starting stuff with me for no reason. But yeah, she's the one that counted my till or whatever. Everything was good. I was like a penny or over, under, whatever. And well, after that, I was about to leave. You know, I got up from my seat. Anyways, so like after they're telling me, you know, that my till was good, I go up and I'm like about to get up and like leave from, you know, I was sitting down. And the GM goes, oh, no, like, wait, like, we have to talk to you first. And I'm like, okay. And I was like, in my head, I'm like, I'm probably about to get fired. I should just say I quit. But either way, if I say I quit before they fire me, they're still going to put it as a termination. They did that to one of my coworkers, my friends that, you know, worked there. But, so yeah, like I said, she was like, oh, you know, wait, like, we have to talk to you for a second, for a couple minutes or whatever. I said, okay. And then she's like, unfortunately, you know, you got another guest complaint. You know, it was a warning. And you've had many warnings before this. And we've warned you. And you've had a lot of written ups because of, like, guest complaints. Which was a lie. Never had that happen. The only, like, time I got written up was because it was a situation with a manager that wasn't my fault. But apparently the managers are always right. And they're always protecting them there. Or whatever the case is. And then they were like, unfortunately, you know, you've had so many warnings or whatever, and this is your last one, and we're going to have to, you know, let you go. Unfortunately, that's what we have to do. And I said, okay, see ya. I got up from my chair so happy. I was like, see ya. I never had to see those people again. I was so happy. But before I left, after I was like, see ya, she was like, oh, no, you have to wait. Like, you have to give us your name tag, your badge, your ID. I said, okay, like, relax. Like, I'll just give it to you. Give me a second. So I gave it to them or whatever. And then I walked out and I was like, yo, I got fired. And like, I said it twice. I was like, yo, I got fired. And the funny thing was, I didn't really expect there to be like, you know, anybody in the back or anything. But I did see them. That's why I said, yo, I got fired. And there were 2 new people. And the one girl was just laughing. The other guy was smirking in the back. And yeah, so I'm like cleaning up my locker or whatever. And then after I'm done, I'm about to head out. You know, I'm about to peace, you know. And then, so the GM is like by the elevator. I'm like, you know, like, why is she still wandering around if I'm cleaning out my locker and I'm about to leave? And she was like, oh, no, hold up. I have to walk you out. And I said, why? I'm not a criminal. And she's like, oh, I know you're not a criminal, but it's just policy. And I go, what? Are you serious right now? She's like, yeah, unfortunately, you know, I have to do it. I'm like, okay. So we're like in the elevator. I'm like, man, this elevator is taking forever. And that elevator did take forever. It's like the slowest elevator ever. But finally it came, like, you know, it came through. We were awkwardly inside the elevator and I was like avoiding that. I should just ran out. It would have been funny. But, yeah, and then when the elevator closes, she goes, you know, I'm sorry I have to do this to you. I don't want to do this to you, but, you know, it is what it is. Like, I had to. I didn't want to do it. And I said in my head, I'm like, yeah, you did. You're the one that fired me. You're the one that's making all this stuff up. And when I tried to defend myself about a guest complaint, because the reason I got fired is because it was a guest complaint, and I threw, like, apparently a bag at a guest, and I threw some hangers, which was a lie. That never happened. I should have told them to check the cameras that we have in the store, but I didn't, because I was like, you know what, this isn't worth it. I could find something better, and someplace that it's just less toxic, because that place was horrible. Anyways, and then she walked me out, and that was it. And ever since then, you know, I was happy, you know. I was kind of worried. I'm like, man, how am I going to pay my bills? But, you know, everything, for me, I feel like everything happens for a reason. Like, the reason I got fired was so that I could get out there, because I couldn't do it myself. Like, I couldn't bring it up to myself that, hey, I'm going to quit. But I felt like the week before I got fired, I wanted to quit. Like, that's all I felt like. And then as soon as, like, that's, like, literally all I felt, too. Like, I want to quit. And I was waking up. I'm like, man, I don't want to go to work. I want to call out. I don't want to be here. But that's what happened. You know, it is what it is. But my coworker, too, she she was gonna wait for me so that we can like leave together, the one that I like saw in the morning or whatever. But I couldn't find her, and then I texted her, I'm like, yo, I got fired, and she's like, wow, that's crazy. I'm like, yeah. But yeah, that's what happened, and I'm happy, you know, to not be there. I found a better job, and honestly, you know, I feel so much better without that place, like less stress. I'm not as miserable as I was, and I'm chilling right now. I'm relaxing and focusing on myself, doing better, and I will do better. I'm gonna, you know, I have the rest of my life to think about stuff, and, you know, I want to start now. Like, I want to start my future now. I'm not going to be thinking about the past. I'm not going to be thinking about the future. I'm going to be thinking about now. So if you guys are in a position where you hate a job that you're in and it's toxic, like I say, just leave it, because, you know, when one door closes, some people are like, oh, another one opens. That's not true. Well, sometimes it is true. Like, sometimes a door opens. If it's not, like, open it yourself. Like, go out there and find you a better job. Don't wait for somebody to tell you yes. Just do it. And that's what I'm doing right now. So yeah, I wish you guys the best luck, and I really hope that, you know, you guys find a better job as well if you're in like the same position as I was in. And like, also, if you guys, you know, want to text me, you got my Instagram, YouTube, like, don't be afraid to DM me. If you guys have like similar stories and you want to like comment down below, like, go ahead, like, tell people your story, and I'm gonna, obviously, you know, I'm gonna like the comment, I'm gonna reply back to you and stuff like that. But yeah, don't be afraid to share your stories on here. Comment down below, my DMs on Instagram, whatever it is, I'll answer. But yeah, I also want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope you appreciate it, and I hope you enjoyed the story. I've got plenty more. I got more about like crazy guests that I've like encountered while working there and stuff like that. But yeah, so if you guys also, you're new here, please like, comment, and subscribe. I have more videos, story times, thrifting, fashion vlogs, you know. If you want to go ahead and check those out, go ahead. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!